Did you know one king completely changed England just to marry the women he desired? That man was King Henry VIII, one of the most famous and infamous monarchs in history. He had not one, not two, but 6 wives. He executed 2 of them, divorced 2 others, and in his obsessive quest for a male heir, he broke away from the Catholic Church and created his own. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the full, epic, true story of Henry and each of his 6 queens. We'll uncover the political intrigue, the secret love affairs, the heart-wrenching betrayals, and the incredible legacies they left behind. So grab your popcorn, because this isn't just a history lesson. This is a story of drama, of power, of ambition. This is the story of Henry VIII. Our story begins with Catherine of Aragon, a Spanish princess and the daughter of the legendary King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. She was originally betrothed to Henry's older brother, Arthur. But when Arthur died unexpectedly, a political and personal alliance was preserved by her marriage to the young, dashing Henry VIII in 1509. Their union would last for over 20 years, the longest of all his marriages. Catherine was far from just a royal wife. She was intelligent, deeply pious, and a powerful political player in her own right, even serving as regent when Henry was away at war. She gave Henry his first child, a daughter named Mary, who would later become queen. But for Henry, a daughter wasn't enough. He was obsessed with securing the Tudor dynasty with a male heir. Catherine endured multiple miscarriages and stillbirths, and with each failed pregnancy, Henry's frustration grew into a dangerous obsession. His desire for a son, and his growing infatuation with another woman, led him to seek an annulment from the Pope, arguing that his marriage to his brother's widow was cursed. When the Pope refused to grant it, Henry made a decision that would change the course of history forever. He broke with the Roman Catholic Church, declared himself the supreme head of the Church of England, and annulled his own marriage. Catherine of Aragon, a queen for over 2 decades, was cast aside. She was exiled from court, separated from her daughter Mary, and forced to live her final years in isolation. To the very end, she maintained her dignity and insisted she was Henry's only true wife and queen. Her daughter, Mary I would later take the throne and try to violently restore Catholicism to England, a direct legacy of her mother's tragic story. Now, who was the woman who prompted this seismic shift in English history? Enter Anne Boleyn, ambitious, charismatic, and captivating. Anne caught Henry's eye while he was still married to Catherine. She was unlike any woman he had known, refusing to be his mistress and insisting on becoming his queen. Henry's obsession with Anne was the final catalyst for his break with Rome. In 1533, he secretly married a pregnant Anne and had his marriage to Catherine declared void. Their child, however, was not the son Henry had gambled everything for. It was a daughter, Elizabeth. Henry's passion for Anne quickly soured as she, like Catherine before her, failed to produce a male heir. The king who had moved heaven and earth to have her now needed to get rid of her. In 1536, Anne Boleyn was arrested on shocking charges of adultery, incest, and treason. Historians today widely agree that these charges were completely fabricated, a convenient way for the king to remove his wife and marry again. After a sham trial, Anne was taken to the Tower of London and executed by a skilled swordsman brought over from France. It was a brutal and shocking end, but Anne's legacy would prove to be her ultimate triumph. Her daughter, Elizabeth I, would grow up to become one of the most brilliant and successful rulers in English history, presiding over a golden age. Just 11 days after Anne Boleyn's execution, Henry married his 3rd wife, Jane Seymour. Jane was the complete opposite of Anne. She was quiet, gentle, and obedient. In Henry's eyes, her primary purpose was simple: to give him a son, and in this she succeeded. In October of 1537, Jane gave birth to a boy, Prince Edward. Henry was ecstatic. He finally had his male heir. His dynasty was secure, but this triumph was tragically short-lived. Just 2 weeks after giving birth, Jane Seymour died from postnatal complications. Henry was genuinely heartbroken. He considered Jane his one true wife, the woman who had fulfilled her ultimate duty. He commanded that he be buried next to her when he died, a wish that was honored. Jane's legacy is tied to her son, Edward VI, who became king at just 9 years old, but sadly died as a teenager, leaving the throne vacant and plunging the kingdom back into a succession crisis. After Jane's death, Henry remained a widower for 2 years. His next marriage was a purely political one. In 1540, he agreed to marry Anne of Cleves, a German princess, to forge an alliance with Protestant nobles in Europe. The problem was, Henry had only ever seen a portrait of her, one painted by the famous artist Hans Holbein. When Anne arrived in England, the reality did not match the painting. Henry was famously and cruelly unimpressed, reportedly calling her the Flanders mare. He refused to consummate the marriage, and the whole affair became a political embarrassment. The marriage was annulled after just 6 months on the grounds that it was never consummated. But this story has a surprisingly happy ending for Anne of Cleves. Instead of being executed or exiled, she cleverly agreed to the annulment and accepted the title king's beloved sister. She was given a generous settlement of properties and a handsome income, and she lived out the rest of her life in England in comfort and wealth, outliving not only Henry but all his other wives. She is remembered as the lucky one, the wife who survived. Next came wife number 5, Catherine Howard, a cousin of Anne Boleyn. Catherine was young, vibrant, and by all accounts, quite naive when she married the aging, overweight, and increasingly tyrannical Henry in 1540. He was nearly 50. She was still a teenager. Henry was completely besotted with his rose without a thorn, showering her with gifts and affection. But Catherine had a past. Before her marriage to the king, she'd had romantic entanglements, and she foolishly continued a relationship with a courtier, Thomas Culpeper, after she became queen. When her past and present indiscretions were revealed to the king, his infatuation turned to furious rage. In 1542, Catherine Howard, accused of treason for her adulterous acts, followed her cousin Anne Boleyn to the executioner's block at the Tower of London. Her story serves as a tragic cautionary tale about the dangers of youth, inexperience, and the brutal reality of Henry VIII's court. Henry's 6th and final wife was Catherine Parr, whom he married in 1543. A mature and twice widowed woman, Catherine was intelligent, kind, and a devout Protestant reformer. She was more of a companion and nurse to the ailing king in his final years. One of her greatest achievements was her role as a stepmother. She helped to reconcile Henry with his daughters, Mary and Elizabeth, and was instrumental in having them restored to the line of succession. Catherine Parr navigated the treacherous court with wisdom and diplomacy, even surviving a plot by her enemies to have her arrested for heresy. She managed to outlive the volatile king, making her the final survivor of the 6 wives. After Henry's death in 1547, she married an old love, Thomas Seymour, but sadly died a year later in childbirth. Her legacy is one of intelligence, stability, and kindness, bringing a measure of peace to the royal family in its final, turbulent years. Divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. The simple rhyme we use to remember them barely scratches the surface of this incredible saga. The 6 wives of Henry VIII weren't just a series of spouses. They were women whose lives, loves, and deaths shaped the course of English history, from Catherine of Aragon's defiance to Anne Boleyn's ambition, Jane Seymour's fulfillment of duty, Anne of Cleves's lucky escape, Catherine Howard's tragic youth, and Catherine Parr's stabilizing wisdom. Each queen left her mark. Henry's obsession with a male heir not only cost several of them their lives, but also led to the creation of the Church of England and forever altered the balance of power in Europe. His daughters, Mary I and Elizabeth I, would both go on to rule, their reigns profoundly influenced by the turmoil they witnessed. The story of Henry VIII is more than just a tale about a king and his wives. It's a timeless epic of power, love, faith, betrayal, and survival that continues to fascinate us centuries later. It proves that real history is often more dramatic and thrilling than any fiction. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's most compelling stories, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more epic history tales. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.